Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com bringing you my review of the brand new C6 Agility Prevail Carbon Shin Guards. Now this is obviously a brand new shin guard on offer from the C6 brand, which is known for aerospace grade, handmade in the USA carbon fiber shin guards. Very, very high quality products. Now the Prevail Carbon is more of an entry-level model from the brand. It retails for $55 US, which is their lowest price shin guard ever. If you use coupon code SR4U during the checkout process at c6agility.com, you will receive a little bit of an extra discount as well, where the price will drop to $49.50. So you can save yourself a little bit of money if you are planning on picking these up. But nonetheless, they are essentially half the price of their next least expensive shin guard, which retails for $100. And it's a really, really good product at the $55 price point, where honestly there aren't too many options out there. So as you guys can see, it's not a full carbon fiber shin guard, although it does feature some of their signature aerospace grade carbon, handmade in the US. Really doesn't compare to any other carbon products out there, and it has some interesting features that of course we're going to talk about in today's video. So if you are interested in learning more, stick around, watch the review, and with that being said, let's get right into it. To start things off, let's go over all the tech specs and details on the new Prevail Carbon Shin Guards. Now, unlike the other higher end C6 products, obviously this shin guard is not entirely made from carbon fiber. Instead, the base shell is made from a high impact resin, which is basically a very, very hard plastic material. You can see it still is relatively thin here based on the side profile, and it has a nice kind of streamlined, low profile look and feel when you're actually wearing them, which you will see a little bit later in the video. Very, very strong. And honestly comparable to a lot of shin guards in this particular price range. What sets this particular shin guard apart though is the carbon fiber that runs through the middle. So just like you're going to find on the higher end C6 products, you're going to find a center plate or bar that runs directly through the middle of the shin guard. That is their signature aerospace grade, 100% made in the USA carbon fiber. That adds a ton of rigidity to the shin guard itself. So when you do take an impact directly to the front of the guard, this carbon fiber is rock solid and as protective as you're going to find from pretty much any shin guard in this particular price range. Obviously, it is a still smaller style guard. As of right now, the Prevail Carbon is only available in a men's size large. There is a medium size on the way. If you guys are wondering about exact dimensions, those are listed on the product page on the C6 Agility website, so you can go ahead and check that out. You can see it does have kind of a contoured shape to them. They are the same shape, both left and right. They're not necessarily anatomically fitted, but they do fit quite well. It has a pretty open feel to it, so they're going to be suitable for just about the shape of anybody's leg. It's not super narrow, which I know is a concern for a lot of people, but again, you guys will see what they look like on my shins a little bit later in the video. Rounded at the bottom, it has a fairly traditional shape as far as shin guards go, and they fit quite well. As far as the backing material is concerned, this is what you will find on their higher end products. It's a Poron XRD foam that, again, has some decent thickness to it. It's very, very soft. So it does absorb a lot of that initial impact, but bounces right back into place. Poron is something you're going to find on a lot of high-end protective products, and to get it at this particular price point is actually a pretty good feature. And then of course you have their backing material as well, or their backing liner, which you'll also find on the higher-end products. That is their DuraWick texturing. So hopefully you guys can see it on camera. It looks a little bit rough, almost like sandpaper. It isn't actually rough. It just has some grit to it. And what's really good about this is it grips your skin quite nicely. So the shin guard doesn't feel like it's sliding around directly against your shin or in a sleeve, however you're securing it to your leg. But it also does a really good job of wicking away moisture and allowing it to flow through the bottom of the shin guard. It doesn't absorb any moisture as well. So basically what they weigh right now is what they're going to weigh at the end of the game, because like I said, they don't really get wet. It does a really, really good job of wicking away all of that moisture, keeping your legs nice and dry, keeping your shin guards nice and dry, and again, keeping weight to a minimum, which is always something that I guess you have to take into consideration with any pair of shin guards. When you have a mesh style backing, it can absorb moisture, and it will get heavier and heavier over time. But that's pretty much it as far as the shin guards themselves go. It's a really, really good quality product considering the price tag. And like I said, the carbon fiber aspect of the shin guard adds tons and tons of rigidity and strength to the actual guard itself, which is great from a protective standpoint that quite honestly I've not seen from any other shin guard in this particular price point. Included with the Prevail carbon shin guards is a set of the C6 Valor compression sleeves. Black in color is what they'll include. And considering that these sell separately on the C6 website for $25, it's actually a pretty good deal that you're getting them with the shin guards at the $55 retail price. As far as the compression sleeves themselves go, they're actually pretty good. The material is stretchy, but not overly stretchy, because obviously you still want to have somewhat of a tight fit around your leg in order to hold the shin guards in place. They don't have any built-in pocket, it is just a straight up sleeve, but the quality of the material is above average in terms of shin guard sleeves that you're gonna find from pretty much any shin guard out there. They just generally tend to not be the greatest, and these are, like I said, above average. What I really like about this particular product is there really isn't much stitching to it. You're gonna find one stitch going down the back of the guard, but the stitching itself is actually elasticated, which again is kind of unusual. Normally that is the one part of the shin guard sleeve that doesn't stretch, which can kind of take away from how well they fit, but these fit pretty well. They wrap your leg nicely, and then at the top of the sleeve you're going to find a silicone band that does a really good job of gripping your skin, not uncomfortably, but it does help ever so slightly just from preventing the shin guard sleeve from sliding down, which obviously would allow the shin guards themselves to slide down as well. Are they the best sleeves that money can buy? Not necessarily, but they are definitely above average as far as shin guard sleeves go, and a nice inclusion with the Prevail carbon shin guards. As far as weight is concerned, the Prevail carbon is not the lightest shin guard on offer from C6 Agility, but they're about as light as you could possibly want from a smaller style shin guard. So I'm going to weigh this one for you today in real time using this scale. Keep in mind that this is the size large. We're going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 2.3 ounces, the equivalent of 66 grams, under 100 grams, very, very lightweight. They fit pretty well. They're low profile as well, so when you actually put them on, you can pretty much forget about them. They're not in the way, they don't weigh you down, you don't really notice them while you're playing, which for me is the major thing with a pair of shin guards. If I feel like they're moving around, or if I feel like they just don't fit me properly, or there's too much thickness to them, it's something that, like I said, I'm thinking about, which is what I don't want. If you like that low profile, kind of disappear on your leg feel, these will definitely provide that for you, both in terms of the design, the thickness, as well as the weight. All right, so here is a look at how the Prevail carbon shin guards actually fit. On my right leg, I'm wearing just the sleeve and the shin guard, so you can see what that looks like. And on my left leg, obviously I have the sleeves, the shin guards, as well as a full-length pair of soccer socks. It's a fairly low profile guard, not a lot of extra bulk. They fit quite well. Like I mentioned, it does have a more open shape to it, so I don't have super wide shins, but I don't have super narrow ones either. And these could be suitable even if I did have wider shins, so they will definitely be able to fit pretty much anybody pretty comfortably. It's not a particularly weird shape or anything like that, so like I said, you shouldn't have too many issues with getting the proper fit and just having the shin guard sit properly against your leg. As far as sizing is concerned, as a reference, this is a size large, which is the only size available at the moment, like I mentioned earlier in the video, and I am 5'11", and they fit me pretty much perfectly. It is a smaller style shin guard, not a ton of coverage lengthwise. It's made to be worn a little bit higher up, kind of away from your ankle, but if you like that style of shin guard, these are very, very good, and like I said, kind of comparable to everything else coverage-wise that C6 Agility has on offer. So really no complaints there. The sleeves do a good job as far as comfort is concerned. They hold the shin guards in place quite nicely, and there really aren't any complaints to make. They feel like thin, lightweight, low profile shin guards when you wear them, which is honestly something that I really like in a pair of shin guards. Ultimately, it comes down to personal preference, but if you like how these look and feel on me, they're likely to fit very, very similar on you. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the C6 Agility Prevail Carbon Shin Guard. This is a really, really solid option in its respective price range. Is it as good as the more expensive models on offer from C6? I would argue that it isn't, but again, in comparison to its competition, this is a very, very solid option. So again, if you are interested in a pair of these for yourself, be sure to check out the C6 Agility website, c6agility.com. There will be a link to that down below in the description of this video. And on that website, if you use coupon code SR4U at checkout, you will get 10% off of your order, dropping the price of this shin guard from $55 to $49.50. So you save yourself a little bit of money, again, if you're interested in something for yourself on that website. If you have any questions at all regarding the C6 Agility Prevail Carbon, leave them down below in the comment section, and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.